What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to Not So Pro Football Talk, where we talk all things football all day, every day, basically. But we're back. It's Monday. It's Overreaction Monday. Let's get right into it. We got a lot of great games this past week, and I'm super excited because the Niners finally got a shutout. They got a shutout, and I'm pumped up, man. If you guys can't tell, I'm overreacting, obviously, but that's the title of this video. So we're gonna get right into it. Do you guys have anything to say before we jump in?
Not really, man. No.
All right, so the first game I want to jump in, I'm going to start off hot here. Okay, so the hot hand, Broncos country, let's fight. That's what we're doing here. Okay, we got Russell Wilson not putting up any numbers, dude. He's not doing his job. I was dead wrong. I had some confidence in him when we did our schedule prediction. I was like, oh, this guy will get 2 touchdowns this game. I feel it. I was dead wrong. As I always said, you cannot start anyone fantasy football wise from the Denver Broncos. How do y'all feel about Russell Wilson? Will he ever catch up to how many bathrooms he has in his house to throw touchdowns?
No, man, he won't. Go ahead, Reed. That's all I got to
What's
say.
up, Big Money Joe? Appreciate you being back, man. We missed you so much.
Yeah, I really don't think he ever will at this point. I forget how many bathrooms he has and how many touchdowns he has on the year. All I know is Carson Wentz has more passing touchdowns this year than he does, and he hasn't played since week 6, which is crazy. That's how bad Russell Wilson is playing. How bad this Broncos offense is. It's really just incredible with how much they invested in this guy and how much faith they had in him that they thought they were a quarterback away. Remember that this offseason, they thought they were a good quarterback away from being a contenders, like not even playoff contenders, Super Bowl contenders. That's what everybody thought about this Broncos team.
I will back him up. I thought they were one quarterback away.
We all did.
I'm at fault here. Brard says he's down 30 points this week with Jonathan Taylor left to play. Kittle, CMC, and Mike Evans all got less than 8 points. Yeah, I know. It was a bad week, but you know what? Even though CMC does have a minor knee injury, it's horrible news. Elijah Mitchell will be out for the rest of the season. Horrible news.
Wow.
Positive news for CMC moving forward in fantasy football-wise. Hopefully he can stay healthy, but we never wish for injuries on this podcast. Never. But going forward, this should do you some justice. And it's all gathered together. And it's put our power that JT will get 30-plus points for Brar. Let's do it, man. I believe. Vince believes. Look at that. But I love it, man. Big Money Joe says, I just like one thing about the Broncos, and that's their remaining schedule. The Broncos, they have a good defense. They do, but they can't put it together offensively. And they're not clicking. There's no communication between them except for some arguments, as you're going to see right here. I'm just going to have this on silent, but this guy, Parcell, he went up to Russell Wilson and straight was like, dude, let's go. Do something. Come on. Why can't you get anything going? And Russell Wilson, how he responded was just, yeah, I know. We got this. Let's go. Let's ride. Let's ride. We're on the same page. It was kind of embarrassing, honestly. And what do? You have defensive players arguing, frustrated with your starting quarterback that you invested so much in.
Here's what it is. Right now they have no option but to run with Russell Wilson for the next 3 years. I think was it you, Reed, who sent the cap hit that he is for the next 3 years?
That was you.
It was you, Vincent.
It was
I'm gonna give myself the credit. Then,
yeah.
I think next year he's a cap hit of 100-something million.
No, that's not his cap hit. That's what if they cut or trade him. Cut or trade.
I actually have what you said right here, Vincent. So if they cut or trade Russell Wilson in 2023, they will have 107 in dead cap. 2024, 85 mil in dead cap. 25, 49.5 mil. 26, 31.2 mil. All in dead cap. Broncos country, let's rebuild with no money.
Crazy. Gosh, man. But
Big Buddy says, oh, sorry, go ahead. He says the TO fighting video is more exciting than the Broncos football at the moment. Yeah, pretty much is.
No, man, back to what I was saying, though. I think that locker room is so torn apart by the way that Russell Wilson acts and the way that he's just so positive all the time, even though he's doing the worst on the team, in my opinion. I don't think there's anybody else on that team who is doing worse than Russell Wilson right now, just based on the amount of faith they had in him to come in and play like a star player. I know he's getting up there in age and stuff like that, but when your head coach has no grasp on the team whatsoever, doesn't know how to call plays, doesn't know how to call timeouts, doesn't know how to get a hold of his locker room and tell the guys that, I know Russell Wilson is this and that, but we got to ride with him and you guys got to stay calm and stuff like that. He doesn't even say anything. We haven't heard anything from the media, and that's their big problem. They have no leadership, and Russell Wilson is trying to be that leader, and he can't because he's not playing like a leader.
He's not. No, he's not performing from what he got paid to do. So you're absolutely right there, Vince. So it could be how well the Seahawks organization was to go around Russell Wilson. And don't clip this, because if you do, I'll be extremely upset. You don't hear me say anything positive about Seattle, but I will give him that. Briar says, wasn't there a video of Russ calling plays from the Seahawks playbook against the Seahawks and none of his teammates understood? Yes, he was calling audibles that he used in Seattle, and all his teammates were like, what the hell is this guy talking about? He was literally throwing. Whenever you're playing Call of Duty and your friend just runs out in the middle of the battlefield like a friend of ours, Benny Benavides, that is called throwing, and that's exactly what Russell Wilson was doing. Big Money says Southern Florida is pretty good fantasy-wise. Right now it is, because Jerry Jeudy is out of the way. Russ is the bus. But let's go ahead and move on. Broncos country, they're dying. But let's go to the Bears versus Jets. As you saw from the thumbnail of this video, Mike White is the captain now. He said, look at me. It's raining. Zach Wilson, you have 4 touchdowns for the entire season. I come in one game. It's raining. It's bad weather. No one believes in this. I get 3 touchdowns. I'm the captain now. You go sit your you-know-what down. It's pretty insane. Mike White went out there, showed up. I loved him last year. What are you guys' thoughts on this?
I'll first want to point out just a little bit, just to bring us down a little bit. This was against the Bears defense, all right? Let's not get out of control. All right.
There was a damn hurricane going on.
Yes, there was, but yes, okay. I think Mike White is a better option for them moving forward than Zach Wilson. Obviously, he's got the locker room. He's making plays out there. I think this is a good thing for the Jets moving forward. But guys, this was the Bears defense. They are not that good. All right, don't get out of control just yet. Briar says Jets could have had Trey Lance or Justin Fields, but they instead had drafted Zach.
And we said this 2 years ago, right? Right before the draft. I was like, I don't get this hype on this BYU quarterback, Zach Wilson. I don't get it. He has a deep ball? He could turn his body on a dime, but that's all he could do, right? I wasn't very impressed coming into the draft with Zach Wilson. And yeah, he could have gone someone like Justin Fields. Yeah, they could have gone someone like Trey Lance or even a Mac Jones, right? Someone else out there. But Zach Wilson was a hot topic, and you can see how easily it is for these clubs to get carried away with what's hot and what's in right now. As we saw last year with Aiden Hutchinson going 2nd overall, which, come on, man, are you serious? But what's going on, Israel? Appreciate you being here. But going back to the Jets game, you saw Garrett Wilson is finally involved now. He is involved back again with the team. And the last time we saw him causing a commotion with the New York Jets was when Joe Flacco was the quarterback. You make another change at quarterback again, and then all of a sudden, he's a wide receiver 1. Elijah Moore is happy. Everyone's out there having a good time. You think this is a good move for them going forward, Vince?
Yeah, man, I do. I think they need to ride the guy that's hot right now. It just makes sense, White is doing good. I don't see why you change it. Going into the rest of the season, you have a winning record. You're trying to fight for playoffs. You ride the guy that's hot until he produces a stinker like, the Jets sometimes do. I think you ride with him. I think you keep winning. The Brandon Rogers says, I made a bad decision by benching Josh Jacobs. Oh, no.
Bad idea, Brandon. Bad idea.
Hey, you know what? I didn't make the live show, which you guys did incredible on. Congratulations, by the way, for fantasy football. Not too sure if you're there, Brandon, but we are going to talk some more fantasy football tomorrow's show. So catch us live at 6 o'clock and catch our noon show on the waiver wire pickups. But I will admit, I did make this bad decision as well. Someone came up to me and said, "Hey, I got 3 guys. I need to start 2. I got Kenneth Walker, James Conner, and Josh Jacobs." I looked at it. I said, Josh Jacobs going against the Seattle Seahawks, who've been playing decently well as of recent, and he's listed as questionable with a hamstring injury. I'm going to go with James Conner and Kenneth Walker, which they both had a decent game. They both had a good game. They didn't do bad. But who knew Josh Jacobs was going to get close to 50 points?
Crazy.
Dude,
Oh my gosh.
I think he almost had a franchise record. It was insane. He had like 200 something yards rushing. That long game sealing win run, like 64-yard touchdown. I was so mad. But our defense did not play up to par. So I'm glad I didn't make that mistake. But I did not think he was going to go off for 43 points like he did.
I was looking at our league, right? Because I was like, okay, who would beat me, right? As far as the points, I had 150 points. I was looking down. I was like, Vince scored 170 points, and you got Josh Jacobs. I was like, wow, of course. It says, hey, Rogers, I did the same. He had the late game, so couldn't risk 0. Exactly, you can't risk it, right? You just can't do that. Play it safe, but sometimes it does come back around and beat you in the butt. Brar says, do I trade CD, JT, and Keenan Allen for Hill, Saquon Barkley? I actually responded to you in our Discord. So if you guys haven't yet, go ahead and join our Discord. It's on our YouTube banner. So hit that up. We answer every single question. So I answer you there. I like this, right? But I think JT has more upside than Saquon Barkley. You have a decimated offense out there that will be struggling. They might lean on Barkley, but he hasn't been getting too involved as far as rush game. He has been getting a lot of receptions, but JT will be doing the same thing. And as far as Tyreek Hill, he does have a tough playoff schedule compared to CeeDee Lamb and Keenan Allen, especially in a PPR league. I can see them having a lot of great upside. I'll just say, keep your guys. Don't risk that trade. Oh man, he lost by 10. Geez.
It hurts.
Big Money says I played White, still won though. Hey baby, you played White, dude?
Nice.
That guy had a game. Unfortunately, Vince stole him from me. I don't like talking about that. Since you stole him from me, Vince, you want to answer James over here?
Start White against the Vikings. Yeah, if he is the starter, you start him. The Vikings right now are all offense. I won't say that they have one of the worst defenses, but they are not one of the best. So I think the way that Rachaad White has been playing, I think he got like 19 points in one of our leagues. I'm not too sure if that was the league that we have boosted for running backs, but he is getting a decent amount of points. So Rachaad White is definitely a guy to keep starting until, like I said, with Mike White, if it's not broke, don't fix it. He should be a flex at least.
Big Money Joris already knows what we're going to ask next. Who do you got? I mean, who else you got? Because you have a possibility that Leonard Fournette comes back off that hip injury. And, I mean, from last game, what's his name? White played 95% of the snaps. And you can't beat that. So sell high on Higgins, and who should I target for him? I don't know if you can sell anymore, depending on your league, but most trades are done with already. But if you still got trades going on, you should sell very high on Higgins right now because Jamar Chase just came back from the IR. So sell him. Try to get someone. Shoot, man. I don't know. This is tough nowadays.
Maybe Olave or I don't even know if you can do it. Try to like boost it up and try to get someone like CeeDee Lamb. Honestly,
oh man, that'll be tough.
It's tough, but you never know. But those are two guys that have like easy schedules going into playoffs. So if you are still able to trade, like AJ said, you got to go for these guys who are putting up numbers and have easy schedules because they'll continue to do so.
Yeah, try to honestly, if I were you, I'm just trying to get anyone for him, anyone at all. Try to go out there, get someone. You could go buy low on Garrett Wilson right now, who has a potential slight upside, or go get yourself a Rachaad White, one of those guys that have a lot of upside. Go check it out. Isaiah Pacheco, man, was I right or what's up? I'm gonna do my I told you so dance. But no. Let's freaking go. James says he was gauging this guy off the Bears' defeat. Hey man, it's okay. It's okay because, like we said about that Bears game, it was horrible weather, right? Zach Wilson took the whole season to get 4 touchdowns. I know he wasn't healthy for most of it, but Mike White got 3. He has happy teammates. I think that's more important. We saw with the Niners. Teammates are very happy whenever Jimmy G came back, and now look at our offense. We're starting to fire in all cylinders. It looks good. That's what we got. Sorry, he does have CD.
Oh,
yeah, and it's going to be a little tough, but that's why I say just go get anything you got.
Yeah, I forgot Brar stacked all the time.
Yeah, Brandon says, I'm sorry to have second thoughts about Mike Evans. He doesn't perform that what he should be. It's okay. It happens, right? You're going to see a downslope amongst every wide receiver, but this guy has a lot of touchdown upside. The Buccaneers will be the Buccaneers. They're struggling, but it's okay to worry about him. What do you guys think?
I keep on wanting to say that Mike Evans is going to return to his true form. He's going to be the touchdown monster that he has been in the past, but every single week, my confidence in him just gets worse and worse. If you have a better option, if you have a more consistent person that's been getting you points on your bench, go ahead and move that guy up and start starting him over Mike Evans.
I've been telling you, I'll try to trade for Chris Godwin.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was saying yesterday.
Yeah, go
on
get
Saturday,
Chris
my bad. Yeah, I was saying that same thing. I was like, I don't think Mike Evans will produce as he did before because of Godwin. Godwin is the main receiver there because he's not matched up against the number 1 cornerback.
Let's see what Big Money Joe has. He's got Eckler for a team struggling at QB. Eckler for Fields, Zeke, Josh Palmer, Drake, and Edwards. I would do Drake and Edwards. Drake is done. We saw last week Edwards took 75% of the snaps. Drake is going to dwindle down, and then J.K. Dobbins just got he is now available to start practicing for the Ravens. So Drake and Edwards, I'll count them as just taking up space in your bench. Palmer, Keenan Allen's back, and then Mike Williams is injured. Once Mike Williams comes back, he's done. Zeke is not always going to have the same upside that he's had these past couple of weeks. Tony Pollard is the guy. They just give Zeke the ball in the red zone, which I do not agree on. Fields injured, not playing this week, could potentially linger on the whole season. Don't trade Eckler. Don't trade Eckler. Go start streaming QBs. It's not fun, but start to stream QBs. Potential. You have what's that guy's name? That guy. Not Tua. Falcons.
Oh, Marcus Mariota.
Marcus Mariota. Yeah, he has a pretty okay streaming value right now. Mike White, go get him right now. It's just someone out there. It's a struggle, but I would have released Eckler. Eckler's just a stud.
Yeah, man, but I think he was saying that he got Eckler and gave away Fields, Zeke, Josh Palmer, Jake, and Edwards. I think that's what Big Money Joe's saying.
Oh, he did that?
So he fleeced.
He fleeced. Oh my gosh.
He sent away his entire bench to get for sure locked in starter.
And besides Zeke, I can guarantee you could find better players on the waiver wire. Wow.
Okay.
We got studs here. We got studs here in the chat. Bro says Mike Evans starts the first half with 0 targets. The second half he gets 9 targets and only catches. Yeah, Mike Evans, he started to dwindle down. It's a struggling team right now. But the only guy who's been consistent since week 1 coming off of injury, Chris Godwin. That's why we've been telling you guys this whole time, go trade for Chris Godwin. Go get him. You're going to want him. He's a consistent. Consistency is key. Says, no, I got a killer. I'll send you a trade. Yeah, let us know. We want to see what's up. Dang, yeah, that's when you're in Japan. You send out a trade. Hey, you miss 100% of the shots you do not take. This is Reed right here.
Brandon says I have Christian Watson. He's a new fantasy star. He's not just a new fantasy star. He's an NFL star, dude. What do you want to say, AJ? You said he was going to be good, and I said he was going to start doing good in the second half of the season. Did I not?
Nope.
That's exactly what I said.
I do remember that.
Yeah, Christian Watson, he's absolutely dominating right now. He has 6 touchdowns in the last 3 games. I think it's like 247 yards. Dude's playing incredible. He's going to be very exciting to watch in the years to come, especially once he gets fully. He's only had 6 starts, guys. He didn't finish 3 of those games. That's
Yeah, man.
crazy.
He's a stud, dude.
He's a
I think
stud.
I think it's insane that he's doing it with both quarterbacks, Aaron Rodgers and Jordan Love. It doesn't matter who's on the field. This guy's open.
Mm-hmm. And
He's
once he gets
tall,
that ball in
fast.
his hands, he's gone.
Yeah.
Gone.
James asking us, who do you guys got? Steelers or Colts winning tonight? Oh man, hopefully you watched our schedule prediction video that does release every Thursday. But me personally, I got the Steelers, and I think I'm alone here. I got the Steelers tonight because I know they could put up a fight, and I know they don't lose by a lot. Colts, what do they got going for them? They got Jonathan Taylor, and that's it. I still don't believe in them. I have the Steelers winning tonight, especially with JJ Watt, not JJ. Yeah, JJ. No, what am I saying? TJ Watt coming back. He looks phenomenal. Fighting Bosa for that defensive lead spot.
Yeah, man. I also have the Steelers. We picked the Steelers. I think Reed also did too. I'm not 100% sure.
I forget. I think maybe did I go rogue and
Someone
pick
went
the
opposite.
Colts?
Yeah,
I
I
know
think it
someone
might have been
went
Reed.
I probably picked Colts then. I think
Yeah,
I like the Colts
'cause
here.
I have mine here, and I picked the Steelers as well.
Okay. Yeah, I picked Colts. Let's go Colts.
Ooh, hey man, I got some bets, so I'm hoping both teams do very well.
Okay.
Brar says JT and Keenan Allen for Kenneth Walker and Saquon Barkley. Ooh, wow. Obviously, you're not struggling in the wide receiver position, so I say do it. I love Kenneth Walker. Actually, I don't like him as a person. Fantasy wise, I don't like him as a player. There you go. I don't like him as a player because he played for Michigan State, hate Michigan State. Now he's playing for Seattle, dislike Seattle very much. But fantasy wise, he's a sweetheart. And Barkley, he should have some upside. But I like JT over Barkley. But if you're trading JT and Keenan Allen for Kenneth and Barkley, I'd say do it. Why not? You're stacked in the wide receiver position, anyways. We're overreacting, so do it.
Heck yeah, man. And Saquon also has a good schedule. I think he's gonna go off for you in the playoffs.
Okay, so we don't. Vince and I don't have the Colts winning, but JT should still have one hell of a game. Hopefully in your PPR league, so you get a lot of receptions, and he's going to hit that 30 points for you. We believe in it. We are putting all of our energy to JT and JT only. Okay.
Yeah, man. I said I hope that both teams do good. I'm rooting for Brar.
Yeah, 200 yards and 3 TDs. Yeah.
Jeez.
Yeah, let's freaking go, man. But yeah, so we started talking about every single team here, but keep asking us questions. We'll go up and down, and all around, just like this next guy who will be starting next week. Let's talk about the Buccaneers and the Browns. So this was Jacoby Brissett's last game. Hopefully you guys got that. I worked very hard on it. We got Jacoby Brissett playing his last game as a starter for the Cleveland Browns. Now I kind of feel bad for the guy. You saw it when he was exiting the game. He was very emotional. He knew he wasn't there. This guy deserves a starting spot in the NFL. Do you agree or disagree?
I would agree. I think he's been playing very well. Amari Cooper has been playing very well with him. He gets the tight ends involved. He has a great running back, so that helps him out. But I think he could possibly be playing better than Russell Wilson if he was on the Broncos.
Wow.
And that is because Russell Wilson is just a totally different player than Jacoby Brissett. Now, they are nothing pretty much alike. Russell Wilson is a guy who loves to be in danger because they called him Danger Russ, He loves to be in danger. That's the only way he thrives. When he's not in danger and he can't run out of the pocket, he's a sitting duck and he doesn't know what to do. Also, his receivers don't improvise like when they did with the Seahawks. That's something that he is so used to, something that he relied on a lot. And now it's not happening for him. And now we're seeing how Russell Wilson plays as a regular quarterback.
Who he has no receivers. So
I mean, yeah.
Jerry Judy's injured, so never liked Sutton, never believed in him. But he's probably a good person. Fantasy-wise, yeah. Thoughts on Gabe Davis? So if you are on a non-PPR league, Gabe Davis has a lot of upside because he could get one reception for 50 yards. If you're in a PPR league, probably not a lot of upside to this guy. He's sharing the field with Stephon and Isaiah McKenzie. And then there's a possibility that OBJ gets signed with the Bills. That's another thing you got to worry about. Gabe Davis is not a league winner. He's a mid-tier flex at best. Cool. Thanks for sending me all the info on Facebook. I'll check it out right now. James says 100. Brown should start Brissett till Watson proves himself. I wish it was like that. But they're not going to because of how much they invested into Deshaun Watson. The fans want it. The coaching staff need to save their jobs. If they don't start Deshaun, someone's getting fired. I can almost guarantee it. Someone's getting fired if they don't start Deshaun. Reed knows this all too well. He saw it with the Bears last year. I mean, you're very familiar with that kind of stuff. We saw it with the Panthers. Mm-hmm. It's just a dirty situation all around. But yeah, I wish it was like that. He did. Do y'all remember that?
Yep. He went 0 for 5, I think.
He only played one drive, and then they took him out.
Yeah, it was really bad. Really bad. But Buccaneers continue to struggle. I had them winning that game. Fortunately, they didn't come through. Browns, we'll see what happens next week. They're going to sell tickets. I mean, it's Browns against Texans. Now, what everybody wants to talk about, let's talk about the Saints and 49ers. Do the San Francisco 49ers have the best defense in the league? Yes or yes? Finally, they get a shutout. They were close to shutting out the Seahawks the first time, but unfortunately, because of special teams, they didn't get that. And with today's league, I don't care how many times it happens to the Raiders or the Colts or whoever, it's tough to shut out a team in the NFL. This is such an offensive-driven league that it doesn't happen. And we saw them stop them in the red zone, was it 3 times? I'm kind of pissed off because my power went out for, I think a squirrel went to the transformer and yeah, no, for real. My fiance and I were there watching the game, right? And I was like, "Come on, Jimmy!" Me getting mad at Jimmy as always. Then we hear a huge pop right from outside. I was like, "Oh man, someone just got shot, man!" And then our electricity just went out, and you could just tell the type of vocabulary that was coming out of my mouth at that moment. So I was it was literally a minute before halftime.
Did you throw it on your phone or something?
Yeah, I did.
Okay.
I did. Okay. But then Sunday Ticket was giving me a whole bunch of hassle on my phone. And I don't live in the California area, so I don't get those games. I pay extra.
Dang it.
I know. It is what it is. But yeah. Are you guys convinced with the Niners defense?
Yes, they're very, very, very good. They've been banged up all year. They've been getting injury after injury. I'm not sure as far as where you guys are at. Did you guys get all those back? But I think a lot of them were season ending, if I remember correctly. But it's been Nets man up from what I've seen from the Niners, and they've been consistently good week to week to week. So it's incredible what D'Amico Ryan has been able to do with this defense, in my opinion.
You know what? I like what Big Money Joe just said. He says we need to play better teams to say the 49ers are the best. And I agree half and half with it, because so far they are the best on paper. First in almost every major category for defense, if not all of them. I'm not 100% sure. I think you sent something, AJ, that said they were first in everything, and I don't have any evidence to prove that they're not. But the 49ers also have a top 10 easiest schedule going through the next, 7 games? No, 6 games. Yeah, so, I mean, they are a very, very good defense. I will not disagree that they are not top 3 for sure, because they are in the top 3. And I think they're either 2 or 1, depending on who they play and where they're playing. So it just, there's so much to factor into it. But the 49ers are definitely an amazing defense. I will say that. And I think that's why they will have success going into playoffs.
Yeah, the only team that they've allowed more than 17 points against was the Chiefs, which they allowed 44. Bad game. Did you have a lot of defensive players out that game, or what happened there, AJ?
We had Charvarius Ward coming off from an injury. We just lost E-Man. Um, but we didn't have Kinlaw, we didn't
Yeah.
have Armstead,
Yeah.
big factors defensively.
For sure. For
But
sure.
I mean, injuries are part of the game.
Yeah.
So, and that's because I mean we're doing so well with a decimated defense, and I'm very happy. Like I said, it's very tough to shut out a team. I'm not saying that look at us, we could go up against any team. I'm afraid of next week. We're going against the Miami Dolphins, who have a very high-powered offense. Now, our defense will definitely be up to the test when it comes to that game. But yeah, you're right. We did have a favorable schedule. I won't say easy, favorable schedule when it comes to the Niners. But you're 100% right. We do need to test our wits. James says 49ers became nearly unstoppable with the addition of CMC. That's always been the 49ers problem. It's being healthy. And whether it be offensive line or whether it be Debo Samuel or George Kittle, and now with CMC back there, we saw it last game where we saw Jawan Jennings get a lot of points because people are lining up against Kittle, Debo, and CMC. Sometimes Brandon Ayuk, they don't know who to line up against. Very fun offense to watch. But defensively, very pleased. We got 3 studs, Hufunga, Bosa, and Fred Warner. 3 stud guys that could easily make contention for Defensive Player of the Year.
Yeah, man. I definitely like Hufunga.
Oh,
I remember watching him last year when he first came in, and I was like, this guy's pretty good. It's like, dang. But yeah.
A lot of people weren't with Hufunga. They were like, oh, he's a lot of people didn't like him. Very unsettling. But going forward, we're going to another one of our teams. We got the Packers versus the Eagles for Sunday Night Football. A lot of unfold there, Reed. Want to start it off?
Yeah, there's so much to unfold from this game. It was a great game. Both teams put up a lot of points. Big Money Joe says Wilson's going to have the inside scoop for Miami next week. Okay.
He's talking about Jeff Wilson.
Oh, Jeff Wilson. Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Jeff
he
Wilson.
will. Yeah, he'll tell them all the secrets, the whole playbook.
Well, they know the whole playbook. You got Mike McDaniel out there as the head coach, so Kyle Shanahan knows a little bit about him too. It's gonna be fun game to watch.
Yeah, but high scoring game. Packers Eagles. Eagles put up 40 burger against the Packers, and it was rough defensively. I forget, it was 363 yards of rushing, which is just a absolutely insane stat. It's incredible that the Packers they had a long week. They played last Thursday, and apparently they didn't watch any film, so they didn't know Jalen Hurts is a runner. It's incredible what Joe Barry has done with this defense. But Aaron Rodgers got hurt, and he that might be the end of his career, honestly. He's gonna try to play. We don't know exactly what his injury looks like. He was playing through the injury for a whole drive. You can tell every single movement he made was hurting him. And he finally went back to the locker room just because he thought he had a punctured lung or a collapsed lung. So that's why he decided to pull himself out of the game, just so he could check that. Life is more important than the game. So we don't know exactly where Aaron Rodgers stands as far as medically. Hopefully we find out more on the Pat McAfee show tomorrow. But it's gonna be it's weird. He says he's gonna play if he's able to, as long as they are mathematically still alive for the playoffs. And right now I think we have like a 4% chance still to make the playoffs. So if we win out and we get the right teams to lose other games, we can still make the playoffs. So if Aaron Rodgers is going to play, he's going to play. But Jordan Love looked great in those 2 drives that he did play. Sorry, I may have spoke too much there.
No, you're fine. We need to get the inside scoop, man.
All right, yeah.
Excited to watch Packer Talk on Wednesdays, which if you guys did not know, Reed over here does an Insider Packer Talk every Wednesday that goes out at 5:00 p.m. So go check that out. I learned a lot about the Packers, a little bit more than what I would like, but it's definitely interesting. Just because it's good. It's good content, and that's why I watch it. So I definitely enjoy that. Go check it out.
This week I'm most likely going to be talking Rodgers and his contract, depending on what we know by that point about his injury. So stay tuned to that.
Yeah, he should have signed with SF. He should have.
Yeah, he has a broken finger or a broken thumb. It's not actually fractured. It's fully broken. not the rib issue. He does have. We don't know exactly what it's in this area. We don't know exactly what it is. Roger should have signed with San Francisco. He was never up to sign anywhere. We could have traded him to San Francisco for sure, but we decided not to.
I think he decided he didn't want to. But yeah, we got to remember, Big Money Joe. Let's put some respect on Jimmy G's name. He played with a torn ligament in his thumb last year. He made it all to the championship. So we got a tough guy ourselves here.
Wow.
James says, "Go Pack, go!" I guess we got a Packers fan here. Oh my, James, you're permanently banned from the show.
No,
Stop it,
stop, AJ.
Hey, man. At least I'm not as bad when it comes to Seahawks fans. Seahawks fans, I throw a fit.
AJ doesn't even bring their comments up when they.
I don't. And these guys get so mad at me, and they give me a talking after the show. You can't be doing that. I'm like, I hate them. But it's definitely interesting to see what happens with the Packers. I was talking to one of my friends during the game, and I said, "How crazy is it that the Packers are about to be 4-8?" Right? Like, I would have never expected that, especially this year. 4-8 for an Aaron Rodgers Packers. Like, that's
a team that we reloaded on from last year.
Correct.
Yep.
Very surprising.
We went
Very
all
shocking. Yeah. It's not as bad as the Denver Broncos, though.
No.
So no need to worry there.
There's a ticking time bomb. I'll talk about it more on Wednesday.
So go catch that on Wednesday, you guys. Yeah, he does have 2 injuries, so that's definitely tough to go off on. And now, you guys, we can finally end off the show by talking about the last game. And the last game is tonight, Steelers versus Colts. You guys heard our predictions. I'm going to say once again, I got the Steelers tonight. I think TJ Watt's going to have himself a day and put a lot of pressure to Matty Ice, allowing Matt Ryan to check down to JT for Brar to get him 30 points to make it in his fantasy football game. So it's a win-win situation. I got Steelers winning here. It's going to be a close game. I think it's going to be 27-24.
All right. I took the Colts in this one, so I'm sticking to my guns. I like this Jeff Saturday Colts. They are a team that's going to fight to the very end. I really like that. I've got the Colts winning. I will not refute what AJ said that TJ Watt is going to have a game. He definitely will. Dude has a game every single week. But I definitely think the pass defense of the Steelers is going to allow Matt Ryan to play a good enough game to let open up things for Jonathan Taylor and let him get those 30 points that Brar needs. So I got the Colts winning. I'm going to say 24-10.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Big Money Joe says, no hate on Jimmy G. I think he has the same record that Steve Young has with the same amount of games played. He does. His winning to losing record is the exact same as Steve Young right now, and I do believe he's just a few games away from Joe Montana. So if you look at the record book, he is the third most respectable QB in the Niners organization. So yeah, no respect there. He does know how to win games and look good at the same time.
The win-loss record is not a stat for quarterbacks. The win-loss record is not a stat for quarterbacks.
We'll see. Anyways,
it's not.
We'll get back to this game before these two start some beef. But with the Steelers and Colts, I'll tell you what's gonna happen. I chose the Steelers, and the Steelers are gonna win. But Matt Ryan is gonna go off for a lot of passing yards because, just like Reed said, the Steelers have the worst passing defense. They are ranked 32nd. So there's going to be a lot of passing on the Colts side. And yes, Brar, you most likely will get 30 points because there's going to be a lot of checkdowns because TJ Watt is going to be hurdling everybody to get to Matt Ryan. And I have possibly TJ Watt getting 2.5 sacks this game. That Colts line is not good against passing. It is good for running for JT. So that's a good thing for Brar. But I also think that this is going to be a really, really close game. I don't think it's going to be that high scoring. I think it's going to be something around 24-21 or 22 because there's going to be a field goal that is going to decide whether someone wins or loses. But I still have the Steelers winning.
Love
All
it.
right.
Love you guys. And I absolutely love you guys out there in the chat right now. You guys have been so involved today, which I couldn't be any more happier. So thank you all so much for joining us live. And don't forget to catch us live tomorrow. Yes, we are going live once again tomorrow. Fantasy Football Talk. We will be live at 6 o'clock. So be there or be square. Yes, I did just say that. But we're going to have a lot of fun. We always have a lot of fun. And we like to help people win their fantasy games. Don't mean to brag, but I'm still undefeated in 2 of my leagues. So that's what's up. I do my research. These guys do their research to give you guys the best possible outcome for your fantasy league. Spoken like a true Rodgers fan. Ooh, little jab back at you there, Reed. But
It's not a good stat.
hey, they win games though. So
Yeah,
that's
that's
what
important.
matters. That's what matters. They win games.
It's not an individual game.
It's okay. They win the playoffs. Anyways, oh no, hey, no fighting here, Reed. You need to calm down. Calm down.
Don't make me go there, AJ.
Calm down there, Rito. Okay. But thank you guys so much for joining us. Like I said, join us live tomorrow, 6 o'clock for some fantasy football talk. Check out our social media links. And if you haven't yet, hit up our Discord. Our Discord is on the banner of our YouTube page. So hit us up there. Ask us as many questions as you want. We are a growing community. So go ahead, join us. We welcome everyone with open arms. And until next time, keep on grinding.